A couple other quick things to talk about at this point is that a good energy auditor would have people skills, be able to interact with the customer. We like to have people go out as energy auditors and ask a fairly significant number of questions from the customer before they even really get started on the audit. Questions such as, do you have health problems? Is there someone in your home that has asthma or respiratory problems? Do you have cold or warm rooms? Does your house have a lot of drafts? Is there someone in this home that is susceptible to drafts or leakage, older people or whatever? Just a number of questions that we have them ask so that you can make the audit take into account energy loss and then ways to save energy, but also leave the home in a better condition tailored to the person's needs. And also at the very bottom of this slide is the creation of a scope of work from the energy improvement or the energy audit. The reality is, if you don't leave the homeowner with a very good scope of work detailing what needs to be done next, then odds are the energy audit never turns into a real improvement package. The people will take the audit, look at it, put it in a drawer, and never do anything with it. This is probably one of the worst things that can happen. As we like to tell people, an energy audit in and of itself does not save energy. It's the home improvement that happens after the audit, based on the audit, that's when the energy savings happens. So it's a whole package we're looking at here. As I previously mentioned, Building Performance Institute has a certification as a building analyst, which is commonly referred to as the energy auditor that most people know about. Building analyst is a beginning certification. You can go on to become a building envelope specialist. So in essence, your building analyst is a beginning generalist as to knowing what to do the energy audit. The building envelope specialist gets into a little bit more of what do you need to do to tell the customer if you do in fact find problems with the building. How do you recommend things like, is it better for them to use foam insulation versus fiberglass versus cellulose, maybe versus soy foam, and there's new products such as denim insulation, cotton insulation, and etc. So we talk about those things and give you a decent working knowledge of what people can do to tighten up their homes and also insulate their homes. So it's a building on the building analyst certification. There's also certifications on manufactured housing, also for heating and for air conditioning / heat pump. Each one of these certifications are a training program in and of themselves. There's also multifamily certifications you can get, and those are probably much more popular on the coasts or where there's lots of high density housing. Not so much in the Midwest where we are right here. The Kansas City area does not seem to have enough folks interested in taking those certifications, but they are available. You just need to look online or get with BPI. Now here's where we're going to get into a little bit of the clarification about energy improvements and certified professionals. People hear about energy auditors and they also hear about home energy raters, and to the average person this sounds like maybe the one and the same person. It's not technically the same, and for those of you in this business that are professional energy people, you pretty much know the difference. But if these terms are new to you, I'm going to explain this way. If you're familiar with the real estate trades, there's what's called a broker and there's also what's called a realtor. The realtor goes out and meets with the homeowners. If they want to get a listing, they actually go out in the field. They're your field people. They find the homeowners that want to sell their houses. They make the deal with the homeowner as to what they want to sell the home for, and they get a listing out of it. Then they advertise the home for sale, and it's kind of a process that all realtors go through typically. If someone wants to come along and buy this home, then they generate a contract, and at this point in time, they take the contract to their broker and say, will you check this out, look it over, and tell me if it makes sense and sign off on it. Now, I'm oversimplifying. There's more to this than what I'm explaining, but it's, to me, one of the easier ways to explain the rater versus energy auditor type of scenario. So let me say it this way. An energy auditor, when they go out in the field, they are conducting an energy audit. They generate, if they do a good job anyway, they generate an improvement list, and then they hand that list to the homeowner, And typically that's the point where the energy auditor no longer, they leave the home and they're no longer involved with the homeowner unless the program has them come back to work with the contractors or to work with the lenders or whatever. But a lot of times energy auditors go out, conduct an audit, do an improvement analysis, give that improvement analysis to the homeowner, and then they go on to the next audit. It's just the way the field has been set up so far historically. Now, Home Energy Rater has to report to what's called a home energy rating provider. They cannot go out in the field and do a rating and then hand it to the homeowner, and that doesn't end there. They also, if they want to have it turn into a rating, which I'll explain, then that has to go back to a rating provider. That's a second set of eyes, and the rating provider then has to send it on to the people that would need that rating. So that's akin to saying a home energy rater signature means something because home energy raters have to generate certain things. And I'll get in that into the next slide. Rating software that home energy raters use, they never really own it. They can only license it, and that again comes from the rating providerships. And they use that rating software for tax credits, such as the residential energy tax credit, to show code compliance for certain jurisdictions and much more. Now, when I said a minute ago that the rater's signature means something, I'm not trying to imply that an energy auditor does not have a signatory involvement with certain programs, but a certified HERS rater absolutely is mandatory for certain programs. They must sign off as a HERS rater. You cannot have an energy auditor sign off, for example, on an EPA Energy Star new home, at least traditionally. Some of these programs are subject to change, but historically, if a builder wants to build an Energy Star new home, he has to have a HERS rater, a home energy rater, and it has to be a certified home energy rater, come in and rate the home, come up with an index score, and come up with the Energy Star paperwork. That paperwork then goes to the home energy rating provider, and the rating provider then sends that on to the EPA or the federal government or whoever else needs that information so that they can in fact certify that home as Energy Star. Same applies for residential tax credits for new homes. To get the residential tax credit for a new home, a home energy rater must sign off that the home qualifies for residential tax credits and produce the right form from the rating software to give to the home builder so they can use that to get the tax credit. Now, our auditor can do the audit on homes, but they cannot sign off. They cannot do the same thing as a rater as far as giving the builder the forms. They have to become a certified home energy rater to get access to the software and to have their signature mean that they are in fact attesting that these homes do qualify as Energy Star or for tax credits. Another program, the Lead for Homes program, that's a U.S. Green Building Council program, and it stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. It's a green homes program that's across the United States, and that it does require a rater to be involved. Originally, the program was specifically designed for home energy raters to go into the homes, and then they would also become green raters, so they would do a analysis to make sure that the homes do in fact meet Energy Star, because you cannot get a Lead for Homes certification without the home being at least an Energy Star home. So that was their way of requiring HERS raters. Since then, it is possible for someone to become a green rater and rate a USGBC LEED home, but they still have to bring in a HERS rater to do the energy rating for the Energy Star component. Now, energy efficient mortgages and energy improvement mortgages, these two are funding vehicles that haven't been used a whole lot in the past, but we see major usage of these as time goes on. And I'm going to explain them in the next slide. But again, you have to be a certified home energy rater to originate these with the banker on behalf of a buyer-seller transaction.